What's good, everybody? Today I'm gonna talk about Goodchild's from She's Gotta Have It, and the two words I decided to choose were narcissism and disrespect. I chose those words simply because that really describes Greer as a character and who he was and who he represented in the movie. And also, I feel like his profession as being a model played into that as well. So I just want to get started. I'm going to talk about the first time we meet Greer. So the first time we meet Greer, he just goes like, "Oh, I was the best thing that ever happened to Nola Darling." I feel like as a person, you can't just make that claim for somebody else. Like, he could have said like, "She was the best thing that happened to me," but I don't think that you could make a claim like that for somebody else. That doesn't make sense, and I don't feel like that's valid because you can't make up and say how somebody else feels because you don't know what they feel, you don't know how they think or whatever. And then in that same instance, he also talked about how he refined Nola, and it quote, "It was I who made her a better person. I molded her." I don't feel like you can mold a person. Like, you might have a role in it, but that person ultimately has to decide who they want to be at the end of the day and what they want to do with their life and how they want to live their life. So I feel like those points once again weren't valid. And he also told her, "If you ever get fat, I will gladly leave you." But that's in another scene when he goes into Nola's apartment. So as you can see, this is like a pattern of disrespect for him. He continues to do it all the time, like it's nothing. It's like he doesn't take into consideration other people's feelings or what he says because he's a narcissist, because he's worried about how he looks. Like in that same scene where in Nola's apartment, he was working out and she was like, "If you could marry yourself, would you?" or something like that. And he was like, "I mean, what's wrong with a man trying to take care of himself?" I feel like there's a point where you could do that, and then at a point it's just like, all right, you're doing a little bit too much, bruh. And then that same scene, he also told her, "You lucky you fine, because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't even bother with you." How do you say that to somebody you're trying to pursue or date? Like, that don't make somebody want to stay around. Like, if I'm in a relationship or trying to get in a relationship with somebody, I want to try to make them feel as beautiful as possible, respected, and actually like genuinely I actually care and want to see them happy. Like, how would you feel if somebody just told you, "Oh, if you wasn't fine, I wouldn't want to be with you"? Then don't be with me. Like, if you don't feel like I'm fine or meet your standards or whatever beauty you want to say, don't be with that person, period. Like, I'm not going to stick around, or don't have nobody stick around if that's not what you want. Because if at the end of the day, it's your life. If you're not happy, you wasting your time. And if you get stuck in any situation like that, don't stay in it. Because if you're not happy, they're not happy, keep pushing. Because time is the one thing that you won't ever get back. And that's that on that. But, and then also in another scene in Nola's apartment when they were about to have sex. I don't know how many people do this. I don't think this is a common thing when that's about to go down. But he really sat there and folded his clothes. And it was like Nola got uninterested. I feel like during that time, that's such a high, intense sense of heat, emotion, and all of that. The folding clothes, that's like gonna ruin the mood. Like, that took him like what, 5 minutes to do. Like, she like, all right, it's over now. I ain't even feeling that type of way no more. Keep it pushing. I don't want to do this no more. I'm only doing it because you want to do it. So I feel like in a sense that was like narcissistic, because what are you folding your clothes for? They about to get messed up and taken off anyway. After you wear them, they probably gonna go in their dirty clothes. So like, what's the point? And from there, he tells Nola at another scene where he basically calls her a sex addict. He was like, "I don't really want to call you a whore, a slut, or anything, or a nymph or anything like that, but I feel like you need help." So he suggests that she go see a psychiatrist. I don't feel like that was necessary because, I mean, guys do it all the time. They have casual sex with multiple women, so it is what it is. You're young, you only live once, so do what you do. That's my opinion on it. And like, I don't feel like he could have really said that because she's doing what she wants to do. She feels sexually liberated and want to do that. She can sleep with everybody else. You know, my thing with that is sleep with who you want to. Just make sure you're safe, because at the end of the day, you don't want something that you can't get rid of. Because if you can't get rid of it, you're going to be sick. Like, and that's that. Like, I don't really feel like, and when she went to the psychiatrist, I feel like in a real life sense, that was a waste of time and money, because therapists aren't cheap. And that's for one, especially if you're trying to get a good one. So I feel like that was an invalid point. She really didn't need help, but I feel like she might have needed that conversation to have with her to just realize like her confidence and like, am I doing this, or is this really what I need to be doing? I don't feel like I feel like that was more so for her than him, because if she wanted to have sex with people, she wanted to have sex, and that's it. And then at Thanksgiving, he also got a little disrespectful. He asked Nola, like, why do I have to be here with these low class, down low, ghetto Negroes? First of all, you in Brooklyn too, so I mean, what's good? Like, I mean, you not living like glamorous Hollywood mansion lifestyle like Beyonce or something. So what does that really say about you? And if you're from that same neighborhood where they're from, how you gonna forget where you came from? Like, you always got to remain humble. And because as soon as you're not humble, all that shit's gonna get taken away from you just like that. So then he also told her in the last scene that we see her in the movie, he was like, I lost respect for you after that dinner. I mean, that's a valid statement on how he's feeling, but I feel like that's disrespectful, because she was trying to do something for her, and it wasn't for you to be happy. It was more so for her mental and her psyche to be comfortable in that environment, having all the men that she was dealing with and thinking that they could handle it. But in reality, we all know that wouldn't work. And he also told her on the rooftop about how he was traveling to the Caribbean for 2 weeks for work, and she was like, no. He was like, well, women would have jumped for this opportunity to travel with me, but she wasn't with that. So it's just interesting to see how he's really narcissistic and really just tries to make everything about him, even when it's not about him. And also the way he words people and the way he delivers certain aspects of conversation to people, it comes off very disrespectful and cocky. And I just feel like narcissism and disrespect really reflect Greer as a person, and also ego. Even though that's another word that we could have used, that's just really a reflection of him. He has a huge ego, very narcissistic, and he's very disrespectful. And that's that.